Cathay Pacific built its name on luxurious wide-bodies for long-haul flights, but now they're taking a new route. This is the Airbus A321neo, now flying shorter regional routes, competing with budget airlines that dominate the skies. But can it still deliver that signature Cathay experience?
So does the narrowbody stack up against the big boys, or is it just sardines in a can? Welcome to today's video. I'm starting off in Taipei. Now, if you're wondering, we're travelling on Cathay Pacific's A321 in business class. This is a new experience for me. I'm quite looking forward to it, even though it's a kind of like regional product. I've just climbed up the elephant walkway and my God, it's exhausting. So today's sponsor, well, I don't have one, but any drink from 7-Eleven will do, because 32 degrees, this was a really bad idea.
I can't deny that the view up here is incredible. Just don't attempt it unless you're good with climbing 600 steps. On the plus side, there's a very smiley lady at the bottom who's selling unsweetened ice cold tea just outside this beautiful red temple. And after a necessary shower and freshen up, I'm checking out my accommodation and making the 10-minute walk through the complex station that is Taipei Main to the airport train. Just make sure, unlike the first time I came here, you catch the purple express train and not the blue commuter one, because it makes about a third of the stops over to Taoyuan Airport. The journey also takes about 34 minutes. Yes, you can use a foreign credit card or debit card with contactless payment, and don't expect to get a seat.
Now, I have to admit, I'm quite excited for today's trip because the moment I heard that Cathay has an A321neo, I had to fly it, and quite desperately I sort of tried to find a route. So it's been about a year and a half. Let's get checked in.
Some airlines have fewer check-in desks because it saves on money, but Cathay Pacific seems to do the opposite and says, how can we elevate the experience? So on this side there's 8 check-in desks, which helps to keep queues low and the experience feeling more premium. There are 4 bag drop-offs, and on the other side a further 8 desks including economy, premium, business and first. Using my status with the airline, I'm checking in using the first class queue. So moments later I'm walking towards immigration, which is incredibly efficient, and I'm through within 10 minutes. Just a little side story for you. A long time ago, I was backpacking around Asia. I didn't even know what One World airline status was. And it's only because of my annoyance one day with AirAsia and a really rude member of check-in staff that I decided my money was better spent elsewhere. And I never looked back, although I have since flown AirAsia and all is forgotten. But it's led to experiences which I could never have imagined, and one aspect that really differentiates Cathay Pacific is the way it makes me feel. The lounges were designed with rest, relaxation and a homely feel in mind. With careful design choices, the low lighting, lots of natural wood and often a bar, shower or buffet that makes you feel less like an all-inclusive cheap holiday and more like you're visiting a friend you didn't know lived in a mansion.
But strawberry cereal sounds pretty good. And to be fair, I'm going to eat on the flight, which is not too long.
After enjoying that and choosing a Hong Kong milk tea to complement the strawberry cereal, which was better than expected, I'm keeping a watchful eye on the time, and sadly I need to go. While I get those important steps in and also work off the strawberry cereal, let's see the journey stats for today's flight. This is going to be an extremely short flight, and that's causing me a little bit of anxiety to make sure I record everything. Charlie X-Ray 489 departs Taipei at 10:55, taking just over 2 hours to reach Hong Kong, with a distance of 505 miles. Cathay Pacific uses Terminal 1, which looks pretty good considering it was opened in 1979. You can sort of tell it's had a few refurbishments in its time, with a brand new terminal, Terminal 3, which will hopefully open in 2026, and it's anyone's guess who's going to operate from there. Although my guess would be probably Starlux, who currently operates between Terminals 1 and 2, which is a little bit awkward, but otherwise they are an incredible airline. Close to gate, Bravo 9, I can see the tip of the Airbus A321neo, Bravo Hotel Papa Tango, which will whisk us over to Hong Kong. It's been an interesting game changer for Cathay Pacific, because until their first delivery of 16, Cathay was known for operating an exclusive fleet consisting only of widebody airplanes, with the Airbus A330 and the Boeing 777. That was until they made a large purchase of both variants of the Airbus A350, which still remains one of our favourite ways to travel, until we try out the new Aria product, and we plan to review both of these very soon. It's certainly possible that to save those poor members of staff transporting those boarding signs, they use the same gate area, which is large in area and there are plenty of seats, with boarding separated into 3 queues. Once for One World Emerald, Business Class and Economy, with boarding starting pretty much on time, with a cute little jingle that passengers who know their signature music will recognise, and I'm sad enough to have downloaded and played in the car. Unlike in Europe, where it's pretty much economy with the middle seat blocked out, most Asian carriers have a proper business class recliner seat, with some like Singapore even going flat. Laid out in a 2-2 configuration, you need to choose between the window or step-free access in the aisle, and there are 3 rows of seats, with 42 rows of economy just behind in a 3-3 configuration, which we previously reviewed and despite the smaller pitch, was a good product, with nice little perks like 4K displays and you can even pair your own Bluetooth headset, but that's in a separate review that's available on our channel. Even a novice or the world's biggest snob would have to admit, despite not being lie flat seats, these are good looking, with the emphasis on privacy and comfort.
This seat is surprisingly roomy with 22 inches of width, which is funny enough 2 inches more than Starlux's A350, which is a little bit odd, but that's a different story. There's also 47 inches of pitch, and it's a fixed back recliner, which basically means that when you recline, it doesn't affect the person behind.
I feel surprisingly cosy, but not in a claustrophobic way thanks to the lack of noticeable gap between the seats in front, which makes for a snug cocoon feeling. The foot space is good thanks to those 47 inches, but it is restricted because of the mechanism and that magazine holder in the centre. And if anyone knows what these slightly unusually shaped storage spaces are for, please let us know. The centre console could provide a necessary boundary from a possibly annoying neighbour, but luckily for me, the passenger sitting next to me is extremely polite, and he's a warm-hearted soul from Japan. This is also where you'll find the seat controls, and hidden below is a very modern looking control for the in-flight entertainment, and a storage nook just below that.
So as for amenities, you also get this rather nice, comfortable, warm blanket and this plush pillow from Bamford.
A copy of today's menu, which is beautifully presented, a really decent pair of over-ear headphones, not that you need these if you're bringing your own, and a warm hot towel, which is extremely welcome from the humid air of Taipei. Followed by a choice of welcome drink, where there was only 1 orange juice and 1 champagne left. Allowing my new seatmate to go first, I actually fancied the champagne, so that worked out really nicely.
Our senior purser, Nasuko. On behalf of Cathay Pacific, I would like to welcome on board this Airbus A321neo service to Hong Kong.
Do you think the captain sounds a little bit distracted? To be fair, I would be as well, because we haven't pushed back on time, which is partly a result of the weather. We're also waiting for digital documentation to be sent over from Hong Kong, and my connection onwards to Cebu is a little bit on the tight side. I am, however, really pleased that in the end I didn't miss the flight, because it's slightly unusual, featuring 2 premium cabins, but it doesn't have first class. I also met Brian, who's a fellow aviation enthusiast, with the oddest and the funniest part, he was also on my flight back to Amsterdam. "20 minutes later and we're finally given clearance to push back, which is a big relief for my connection, which is getting tighter and tighter. In fact, being totally honest here, I ran out of time and had to remake the intro later in the trip.
Having not really eaten in the lounge today, I am really hungry, so bring on the food.
The actual journey time for today's flight is more like 1 hour and 20 minutes, which isn't that long to carry out a full meal service. So there isn't a paper menu, and I've chosen the white rice with chicken and vegetables, which I thoroughly enjoyed. The chicken was cooked perfectly, the rice and veg was steamed just as if it came from a restaurant on the ground. This also comes with a wholemeal bread roll, butter which was decorated with a Cathay Pacific logo on parchment paper, and a couscous and salmon starter. Lots of variety, flavours, and as healthy as it can be for a meal on a plane. And if you don't like tiramisu, then today's flight is not for you. But I loved it, so it suited me with a glass of still or sparkling water and a Hong Kong milk tea. With proper cutlery, with the Cathay Pacific logo, which elevates the service and also probably will likely stop you from stealing them.
And I'm really ready to check out that 15.6 inch 4K display. Let's have a look at the in-flight entertainment. You can also pair your own headphones, which is pretty cool, although the ones they give you anyway are really good.
I decided to hopefully help the environment not to unwrap the headphones on board, so I dived into my footage from the Airbus A350 over from Amsterdam, which wasn't new enough to feature Bluetooth, but here they are, and in my opinion they're highly rated. And comfortable, which is all that matters. One of the wonderful features, as I already mentioned, about flying on board Cathay Pacific's A321neo is just how easy it is to pair your Bluetooth headphones to the in-flight entertainment system. No adapters and no tangled airline headsets, just connect and chill. That is until nature calls, step away for a quick bathroom break and your headphones might ghost you. You'll need to reconnect when you're back, which feels a little bit like being punished for staying hydrated. Still, the trade-off is totally worth it. The in-flight entertainment system is called Studio CX. It's loaded with content for both international and local language speakers. Whether you're into Hollywood blockbusters, Asian dramas, or just need background noise while pretending to work on your laptop, there's almost too much to choose from. It's like Netflix at 30,000 feet, minus the buffering with better snacks. Recommendations: Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is a solid pick. It's the perfect mix of entertaining and hide behind your travel pillow spooky, even if you're cruising above the clouds under perfectly calm blue skies. There's just something surreal about watching icy ghost chaos unfold while sipping champagne in seat 3 Alpha. Before landing, I should probably see what the buttons do, and just how much more comfortable the seat can go. Unfortunately I ran out of time, so I had to do this on the ground. I actually found the seat more than comfortable in the upright position, but if I come off a long haul route, then the extra recline would probably help. One final cup of tea before we arrive into one of my favourite cities in the world. There's just enough time to visit the onboard bathroom.
Also, with just under 30 minutes to landing, there's just enough time to use the bathroom. It's not very exciting, it is pretty modern, but there's nothing interesting to say about it. Cathay's A321neo I actually think is a really good airplane. Yeah, it's a 2-2 configuration and it doesn't go flat, but it's used on the short routes, so that's not really an issue. Even for the route, which was only an hour long, I thought that was a really good meal, and the seat's wide, it's comfortable, and it's not even an issue to get out. With the seat in front recline and the person next to me, I was still able to leave and still go to the bathroom, and the food and the service were just top notch. Anyway, really hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm off to another flight.